China has reportedly tested its first hypersonic missile with a top speed, Mach 10. This comes right after Russia showed off their own hypersonic missiles in an impressive military parade. So we decided to pit them against each other and find out which one is better and who is ahead in the hypersonic race. Is it Russia, China, or the United States? Let us know your thoughts below. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more updates. We're going to start by looking at the latest test conducted by China. The test took place in the northwestern part of China, and according to reports from state media, the test was successful. It was also reported that the missile can carry both conventional and nuclear warheads. It reportedly uses scramjet propulsion technology, which allows the missile to reach a maximum speed of Mach 10. That means that the missile could travel at about 8,000 miles per hour. But according to some sources, the missile may have actually reached a speed of Mach 20 or 16,000 miles per hour. However, this figure is not independently verified. The successful test came shortly after China unveiled 2 new aircraft that are designed to detect hypersonic missiles. It seems like they're taking this technology very seriously. And according to analysts, it appears that China's hypersonic program has progressed much further than many people realize. In fact, there are concerns that the country may soon deploy these weapons in the South China Sea and use them to counter American naval power. But let's go back to the test itself. Unlike most missiles, the DF-17 doesn't have a booster rocket. Instead, it relies on air-breathing propulsion. It's believed that the missile's engine starts working once the missile reaches a certain speed and altitude. As the missile accelerates, the air intake increases until the scramjet engine becomes fully operational. It's this technology that allows the missile to reach incredible speeds and maneuver like a fighter jet. But when it comes to hypersonic missiles, speed isn't everything. The real question is whether or not these missiles can be accurate at such high speeds. After all, the point of a missile is to deliver a warhead to a target as quickly as possible, while avoiding any obstacles along the way. According to experts, it's entirely possible that these missiles could be accurate despite their high speeds. They can reportedly make sharp turns at supersonic speeds, which gives them more flexibility and accuracy than traditional ballistic missiles. The Chinese hypersonic missiles are also considered to be more maneuverable than Russian or American missiles. This makes them even more unpredictable and difficult to intercept. Another advantage of hypersonic missiles is that they can be launched from anywhere. This means that China wouldn't necessarily need to launch the missiles from its own territory. It could also be launched from submarines or ships in the South China Sea, making it even more difficult for the United States to defend against them. Now let's take a look at what Russia has been up to. During the May military parade, Russia showcased a number of new hypersonic weapons. Perhaps the most impressive was the Vanguard glider, which is believed to be the world's first operational hypersonic weapon. These hypersonic glide vehicles can reportedly reach speeds of up to Mach 20, and they can fly at very low altitudes, which makes them extremely difficult to detect. The Kh-47 meters to Kinzhal is another Russian hypersonic missile that was on display during the parade. The Kinzhal can travel at speeds of up to Mach 10, and it has a range of over 1,000 miles. It can also be launched from both aircraft and submarines, giving Russia a lot of flexibility when it comes to using this weapon. What's interesting about these missiles is that they were developed under the leadership of Tsar Putin himself. He made it a personal mission to develop hypersonic weapons, because he saw them as a critical part of Russia's future military capabilities. In fact, he even gave a speech in 2018 in which he said, "I know there is a lot of talk about the uselessness of developing new weapons. They say we already have enough arsenals. We'll be told in 10 years or so. But there will always be someone else who will surpass you if you don't move forward. There will always be someone who will overtake you if you stop." And it seems like he was right. Russia has managed to develop some pretty impressive hypersonic weapons, and they are now ahead of the United States in this race. So who is really ahead in the hypersonic race? Well, it's hard to say for sure. Each country has its own strengths and weaknesses. But overall, it seems like Russia may have the upper hand. Their Vanguard glider is believed to be the world's first operational hypersonic weapon, and their Kinzhal missile is extremely fast and versatile. China is also making a lot of progress with their own hypersonic weapons, but they haven't quite caught up to Russia yet. The United States, on the other hand, is still playing catch-up. They do have some hypersonic weapons in development, but none of them have been deployed yet. It's important to note that this is just our opinion, and there are definitely arguments to be made for all three countries. But ultimately, this is our analysis of the current situation. If we had to choose a winner, we would probably give it to Russia. They seem to be the most advanced when it comes to hypersonic weapons, and they have the most experience with this type of technology. Of course, this is only one aspect of military technology. There are many other factors that contribute to a country's overall military strength. Things like cyber warfare capabilities, space-based assets, and artificial intelligence all play a big role. But when it comes to hypersonics, specifically, it seems like Russia is currently in the lead. There are several reasons why Russia is ahead in this particular field. First, Russia has been developing hypersonic weapons for longer than any other country. They started working on this technology in the early 1990s, after the Soviet Union fell apart. This gave them a significant head start over the rest of the world. Second, Russia has a larger defense budget than any other country except for the United States. This means that they have more money to invest in research and development. 2020, Russia spent over $63 billion on defense, while China spent just over $200 billion. Finally, Russia has a highly skilled workforce when it comes to hypersonic weapons. They have a long history of developing and manufacturing advanced military technology. In fact, Russia was the first country to successfully test a hypersonic weapon. They did it back in 2016 with the HH-47M2 Kinzel. The United States has been working on hypersonic weapons for a few years now, but they haven't made as much progress as Russia. Part of the reason for this is that the US defense budget is so large. It's hard to get a small project like hypersonics off the ground when there are so many other competing priorities. Another reason is that the United States doesn't have as much experience as Russia when it comes to developing this type of technology. Hypersonics is a relatively new field, and Russia has simply been working on it for longer. So what does this mean for the future of hypersonics? Will the United States and China eventually catch up to Russia? It's possible. Both countries have the resources and expertise necessary to become leaders in this field, but it will take time, money, and effort to do it. In the meantime, Russia is likely to maintain its lead. They have a significant head start, and they're not slowing down anytime soon. In fact, Russia has plans to develop even more advanced hypersonic weapons in the near future. They are already working on a new hypersonic missile that can travel at speeds of up to Mach 30. If that sounds crazy, it's because it is. It would be the first weapon ever to reach those speeds. Most military analysts believe that Russia is hyping up their military capabilities. They do this for political reasons, and it's a common practice among world powers. But this time, it might be different. Some experts actually believe that Russia is being serious about their claims, and that they really do have a number of advanced hypersonic weapons in development. Only time will tell. If you like this video, check out this other video where we go in depth on the Russian hypersonic weapons that were recently tested. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next one.